and we have a very strong partnership between India and France regarding defense. That's a people-to-people and government-to-government relation for our security.
In a world torn between superpower rivalries and shifting alliances, two democracies, one in the heart of Europe, the other in the soul of Asia, are quietly scripting a strategic saga that could shape the global power balance for decades to come. India and France. One, the voice of the global South, the other, a nuclear-armed European power with global ambitions. Together, they are now moving beyond symbolism into substance. And if you thought the India-France partnership was just about fancy handshakes and cultural camaraderie, think again. India has just cleared a blockbuster military deal with France. 26 Rafale Marine fighter jets, a 63,000 crore rupee acquisition that will power India's aircraft carriers, bolster its naval strike capability, and serve as a direct counterweight to China in the Indo-Pacific. But this isn't just a defense deal. It's a signal, a clear, unmistakable message to the world. Let's rewind. When the Cold War cast a long shadow, India and France found themselves on different ends of the geopolitical chessboard. Yet it was France that stepped in to supply nuclear fuel to India's Tarapur reactor when the US walked away. It was France that helped set up ISRO's Sriharikota launch site, and it was French jets, Ouragan, Elise, Mirage, that gave wings to India's Air Force post-independence. In the 1970s, France was instrumental in sharing rocket technologies like Centaur and Viking, building India's foundational space program. Despite Cold War constraints, the seeds of trust were already sown. Fast forward to 1998, India tests its nuclear weapons, and the world slams its doors. But France refused to join the chorus. Instead, it doubled down, and that's when the India-France strategic partnership was born. Since then, this relationship has evolved into a full-spectrum partnership: geopolitical, geostrategic, defense, economic, energy, climate, technology, and even diaspora-driven. France was the first P5 country to support India's bid for permanent membership in the UN Security Council. It backed India's accession to critical export control regimes like MTCR, Wassenaar, and the Australia Group. France has stood by India on counterterrorism, backing its position on Kashmir and consistently opposing Pakistan-sponsored terrorism. And beyond rhetoric, France has done what few countries have dared to do. It offered its most strategic Indo-Pacific territory to host Indian military assets. Reunion Island now has Indian Air Force planes deployed. That's more than friendship, that's trust. India, too, has extended meaningful support to France on several key occasions, reflecting the depth of their strategic partnership. During the COVID-19 crisis, India sent medical supplies to France as part of global solidarity, reinforcing the reciprocal nature of their relationship. India also deployed P-8I aircraft to France's strategic Indo-Pacific territory, Reunion Island, for joint maritime patrols, directly aiding French security interests in the region. In the realm of climate diplomacy, India co-launched the International Solar Alliance with France, giving Paris a leading role in global clean energy efforts. Additionally, India has backed France in multilateral platforms, including peacekeeping missions and global security initiatives. These moments highlight India's role not just as a partner, but as a reliable pillar of support for France in times of need. Today, France is a cornerstone of India's defense ecosystem, and India is becoming a strategic client and co-developer in French military innovation. From Rafales and Scorpion submarines to joint exercises like Varuna, Garuda, and Shakti, this defense relationship is mission-ready. Joint patrols in the Indian Ocean region underscore shared interests in maritime security. In space, France and India are working on Earth observation missions like Trishna, and even collaborating on space debris removal. On the economic front, bilateral trade has hit $13.4 billion in 2022 to 2023. France is now India's 11th largest foreign investor, with more than 1,000 French companies operating in India, employing over 300,000 Indians. At the same time, India's exports have crossed $7 billion, and Indian IT firms are increasingly active in the French market. France's support was instrumental in India's exemption from the Nuclear Suppliers Group NSG ban in 2008. Now both are jointly building the world's largest nuclear power park at Jaipur, a potential game changer for clean energy. Both nations are also collaborating on the India-Middle East-Europe corridor, IMEC, a visionary alternative to China's Belt and Road. It promises to create new economic pathways that integrate Gulf ports, rail corridors, and European supply chains. Together, India and France are not just building bilateral strength, they are shaping a new responsible model of global leadership. From the Indo-Pacific to multilateral platforms, from clean energy to cutting-edge defense collaboration, this partnership is grounded in trust, driven by shared values, and powered by common goals. Both countries have consistently demonstrated their commitment to one another. France supporting India during global sanctions and critical security needs, and India stepping up for France in climate initiatives, security deployments, and pandemic assistance. This is not just cooperation, this is mutual empowerment. In an age of broken alliances, transactional diplomacy, and fractured multilateralism, this relationship offers something rare: strategic autonomy without strategic ambiguity. India and France don't just have shared interests, they have shared responsibilities to secure, to innovate, to lead,